Good afternoon, I'm Susie Nordquist. This is your afternoon news fix for Thursday, the 7th of March. TVNZ has confirmed it plans to cut up to 68 roles across the business. Our newsroom understands about 35 of them are news roles. RNZ is reporting tonight Sunday Fair Go and Re-News will be affected. Sunday host Miriam Kamo told RNZ she's very concerned.
When we start cutting into our news programs at our state broadcaster, then that really speaks to how dire things are.
Meanwhile, the Finance Minister says TVNZ has been an important part of many Kiwis' lives and is committed to continuing its role. Consultation will begin with staff tomorrow about the proposed job cuts. Speaking about TVNZ earlier, David Seymour singled out a reporter. Nicola Willis wouldn't be drawn on whether the comment was appropriate and says Seymour is responsible for his own comments.
I imagine that David Seymour has made his reflections. Whatever reflections he's made, the reality is this is a really tough day for a lot of people at TVNZ.
Attorney General Judith Collins has concluded that the government's move to ban gang patches is against the Bill of Rights. She tabled the advice in Parliament this afternoon, saying despite some gang members thinking they are above the law, they are also entitled to its protection. Political editor Jason Walls has more.
The bill seeks to reduce the ability for gangs to operate and cause fear in communities by banning their patches. But Collins says this will not prohibit gang members from assembling or associating with each other, and any attempt to limit the freedoms of peaceful assembly is inconsistent with the Bill of Rights.
Despite Collins's assessment, the government is still likely to push ahead with the bill. Calls for policymakers to support older people as dementia rates are predicted to jump by 240% by 2050. An Aged Care Commissioner report outlines several actions needed to improve health and disability services. Alzheimer's New Zealand says the report is critical because it includes reducing the growing dementia rates. Chief Executive Catherine Hall says the government needs to implement their proposed dementia action plan.
We worked very hard as a sector to make sure that it was realistic, it was practical, and it focused on the priorities.
It's shaping up to be another Biden-Trump election. Republican candidate Nikki Haley bowed out of her presidential campaign this morning after a series of losses to Donald Trump on Super Tuesday. The former US ambassador to the UN won just one of 15 nominating contests yesterday, setting up a likely rematch. CNN senior political correspondent Abby Phillips says it's not necessarily what voters want.
A recent CBS News poll found 48% of Americans thought a Biden-Trump rematch would be negative, while 42% said it would be depressing.
The chief weapons handler on the set of the movie Rust has been found guilty of the involuntary manslaughter of the cinematographer Helena Hutchins in October 2021. A jury took 2 hours to reach its verdict on Hannah Gutierrez, with a sentencing date to be decided.
I'm going to remand you, and the reason why I'm going to remand you is you are now convicted, and this is a death. A criminal negligence, but it's still a death. Deputies, you're going to take her into custody.
It's a great day for Aussie pet owners. Virgin Australia has confirmed plans to be the country's first airline to operate flights with people's fur babies on board. I'm Susie Nordquist, and that's your latest news fix. We will be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.